All right, today we're jumping into a seriously chilling story about an antique restorer. This is a guy whose quiet, perfectly ordered life gets completely turned upside down by one single, mysterious delivery. What starts out looking like just another job, well, it spirals into this terrifying showdown with a debt that time forgot. It really makes you think about how fragile the little worlds we build for ourselves really are.
And this is where it all begins. A massive, heavy, gold-framed mirror just shows up. No return address, no name, nothing. Just this single cryptic note attached to it. 4 little words that are about to unravel reality itself. Repair the reflection. I mean, what is that even supposed to mean?
So let's meet our main character, Julian. For 20 years, this guy has lived this really peaceful life, just restoring beautiful old things. His entire world is about order, history, and a kind of comforting silence. But that silence is absolutely shattered by this mirror. It's an intrusion. For an antique expert, an object with no traceable past is the first major red flag that something is just off.
So let's break this down, right? The recipient, him, a total specialist. The object, a pretty impressive, if really dusty, mirror. But the origin, a complete and total blank. And the instructions, well, they couldn't be more bizarre. Each one of these details just peels back a layer of normalcy, building this foundation of pure, unsettling mystery.
As Julian gets to work, polishing away decades of grime, he notices the first truly impossible thing. The world he sees inside the mirror, it's not quite the same world he's standing in. And this is the exact moment the story shifts from a quirky little mystery to something deeply, deeply unnatural.
The physics of it just don't make any sense. I mean, check this out. In his workshop, the clock ticks forward, like normal. In the mirror, it's ticking backward. His tools are sitting perfectly still on his workbench, but in the reflection, they're moving, as if some invisible person is using them. These aren't just smudges on the glass. These are the fundamental laws of reality starting to crack at the seams.
Okay, so a weird room is one thing, but believe me, it gets so much worse. Julian leans in, looks into his own eyes in the mirror, and that's when he understands the true horror of what's happening. The person looking back at him isn't just a reflection anymore. It has its own will, and it is absolutely terrified.
Seriously? Just stop and think about that for a second. Imagine looking at your own face, a face you've seen every single day of your life, and seeing it twist into an expression of pure panic, a panic that you are not feeling. What would you even do? Because that is the exact horrifying moment Julian finds himself in.
And then comes this moment of absolute chilling clarity. Julian realizes his reflection isn't just acting weird. It's a totally separate person, a prisoner. It's desperately trying to tell him something, literally clawing at the glass between their worlds. The reflection knows something Julian doesn't, and it's scared to death. So as his reflection is scratching frantically at the glass, the real reason this mirror showed up is about to be revealed. And yeah, it's about as terrifying as you can imagine. Suddenly, a new player enters the game. Not in Julian's workshop, though. No, this figure just materializes from the shadows inside the mirror's twisted reality. A dark, hooded figure. And its position is everything. It's standing right behind Julian's frantic, terrified reflection. It's just watching, a silent, menacing presence in that other world. Julian, of course, whips around, his heart pounding in his chest, but his workshop is empty. There's nobody there. This thing exists only inside the glass. It might not be in his world, but it is very, very real. And in that one heart-stopping moment, it all just clicks into place. This isn't just some haunted mirror he needs to clean. The mirror is a ledger. It's a record, a bill for an ancient supernatural debt his family racked up and then just forgot about. Turns out, you can't outrun some obligations. And that hooded figure? Oh, he's the debt collector.
So what do? In a final desperate move, Julian decides he's got to destroy the ledger. He has to shatter that mirror and just end this nightmare. But the mirror has other ideas. See, the debt has to be paid one way or another.
It's the ultimate cosmic joke, isn't it? The final, cruelest trap. He grabs the biggest hammer he has and swings with everything he's got, and the mirror doesn't even crack. Instead, the curse, the debt, it transfers right to him.
His own hand starts turning into cold, hard silver glass. His attempt to destroy the ledger only makes him a permanent part of it. Now he's the one trapped inside the glass. He's the frantic reflection trying to warn whoever's next. All he can do is watch in silent horror as the collector takes his place. The figure just steps out of the mirror world and into his workshop, wearing his body, his life, like it's a new coat. The debt is finally paid.
So we're left with this final, chilling thought. The story isn't just about a haunted object, right? It's about the horror of losing yourself completely, of being totally erased and replaced by a history you didn't even know you had. It suggests that some debts aren't about money. They're existential. And it leaves us with a terrifying question. What happens when the debt collector doesn't just take your things, but takes